Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today with an article from Outkick dated May 29th, and this was the first I'd seen of this. I'd even seen this news on any sort of pop culture website. It's about the Fantastic Four movie, so casting rumors, and I just figured, what the heck, let's do something fun for today and go over this. So it says Fantastic Four casting rumored to include big name stars Margot Robbie and Adam Driver. So let's see what it says. It says there's good reason to be excited about Marvel's upcoming Fantastic Four reboot. That is, if the rumors about the casting are true, ... It says before folks cry out woke, remember that no story details have been released on this film, so save the outcry for 2025. Yeah, that's about right. This movie's not going to be out for a few years, and depending on who's cast and what it seems like it's going to be, maybe I'll go see it. I haven't seen an MCU movie in a while. In fact, the only Phase 4 movie that I saw was No Way Home. So, yeah, it's been a while, and frankly, I just kind of got sick of it after Infinity War. I just was like, yeah, I don't need to watch a movie ever again in the MCU. So, yeah, but we'll see about the Fantastic Four, because I could very possibly be very much looking to watch this movie. So it says a lot is riding on this Fantastic Four reboot. After Marvel bought back the slate of Fox-owned comic book characters, including the X-Men, Chief Marvel producer Kevin Feige noted that those characters would eventually be introduced through the Fantastic Four. So it says, relayed by Forbes, Marvel's picks for the famous quartet have dropped on the internets. Academy Award-nominated actors Adam Driver, Margot Robbie, Paul Mescal, and up-and-coming actor Daveed Diggs are rumored to be playing the titular heroes. Expected to play Reed Richards, it's Mr. Fantastic, is Adam Driver, known for playing Kylo Ren from the latest Star Wars trilogy, and Driver has been Oscar-nominated for his role in movies like 2019's Black KK Klansman and 2020's Marriage Story. Like, how do you pronounce this movie? Is it just Black Klansman, or is it Black Klansman, or is it Black KK Klansman, or Black KKK Landsman? I don't know. I'll just go with Black Klansman if it comes up again. But yeah, I don't like that casting. I like Adam Driver. I like Mr. Fantastic. I don't think Adam Driver is Mr. Fantastic. I think the dude who played him in the Tim Story movies was Yoan Griffith. He looked it. So he looked like Reed Richards for sure. And then of course John Krasinski, I think, is like everybody's number one pick for it, and John Krasinski would be fantastic. And I know he was in Multiverse of Madness in a cameo, and I think that was just to satisfy people, just so they could say, look, we did what you wanted. It's over and done with now. You know, so I think that's why they did it. Though the right pick would be to put John Krasinski back in the role here, and have him do it again, and with his wife, Emily Blunt, playing Sue Storm. But that, I think, will bring us on to the next bit of casting, which I have to say is actually spot the hell on. So, this Australian bombshell Margot Robbie is rumored to play co-lead Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. Says anybody who's watched The Wolf of Wall Street, oh yes, will remember the blonde beauty from Australia. Those who haven't may recognize Robbie as Harley Quinn from the DCEU's slate of comic book films, or Tanya Harding in 2017's I, Tanya, which is also a very, very good movie. All those movies that were mentioned there are very good. And yeah, Sue Storm is a bombshell, and who else are you going to pick to play that's like blonde Hollywood bombshell, like beauty type? I mean, that's perfect. And she can kind of play anything, so she can definitely come across as someone who's like mega smart, like Sue Storm is, and you know, could definitely go up against Adam Driver, who is also like the smartest man in the Marvel universe. You know, like for people out there that are more normies, that you've only really watched the MCU stuff, and you've seen folks like Tony Stark or Bruce Banner, you know, Hank Pym, stuff like that. Like, Reed Richards is smarter than all of them. So, just you wait. You haven't seen the big brain yet. So this dude I don't know. Paul Mescal, rumored to play Johnny Storm. It's the Human Torch. Splashed on the scene at 2022's After Sun. I have not seen that, which landed him a Best Actor nomination at the Academy Awards. Well, good for him. Says Mescal is possibly the most trendy young actor in Hollywood. He is slated to star in Gladiator 2, a sequel to Russell Crowe and Ridley Scott's famous 2000 flick. Why are we doing that? It's a whole other video. And I've heard rumors from like what they were going to do as a sequel way back when, and it was just like, again, why? Why is this a thing? So we'll see what happens on that. You know, I'm all for Rome, but why a sequel to like Gladiator? I don't know, but okay, so this dude could be Johnny Storm. If we can blonde him up, yeah, not cutting that out. He could definitely be Johnny Storm. So I've never seen this guy in anything, so I can't tell you if I think he'd be good for the pick or not. And that brings us to the final character, is Daveed Diggs. We're going to play Ben Grimm. That's The Thing. Is perhaps best known for Broadway smash hit Hamilton. I think my parents have seen that. I know I never did. Of course, I heard about it, though. Says most recently, Diggs was the voice of Sebastian in The Little Mermaid, so that probably doesn't work for him. Says, but Diggs was at his best in the 2018 indie film Blind Spotting. I've heard of the movie, but I haven't seen it. But one thing I'm going to say is, for Hollywood, is for anybody that doesn't know what Ben Grimm looks like, he is a, a photo negative of this person here, and he's also Jewish. I don't think Daveed Diggs is Jewish, and if Hollywood, if you're going to stick to these principles of, like, the characters have to look like the people, like, the actors have to be like the characters who play them, you need a white Jew to play Ben Grimm. Okay, it doesn't necessarily need to be a large guy, because Ben Grimm, pre-transformation, was still a stocky dude. He was kind of like Reed Richards. He was his best friend, but also kind of like his bodyguard as well when people would pick on him. So you kind of need someone that can portray this. And again, I've never seen this dude in anything. I know the name. I don't know. I really couldn't pick out anything that I've seen him in. But again, he doesn't look like a white Jew to me. So if you're sticking to these lines of the person needs to be the thing that they're playing, then this is not the right choice. But again, I've never seen this guy in anything. If he can project the stuff that Ben Grimm does, okay, fine. But again, like, there's no need to have to do this race swap. I'm sure there's plenty of people that could play the Thing. Are there not black characters that he could play? And especially in the Fantastic Four universe? And the answer to that question is yes. There most certainly are, without having to race swap anybody. So, article concludes, says, Fantastic Four expected to be released on February 2025. Jesus, that's less than 2 years away. They better get cracking on this thing. This was previously expected to be helmed by director John Watts. That's the dude, I think, who did all the Spider-Man movies, or the recent Spider-Man movies, the MCU Spider-Man movies. Says after directing the critically after directing the critically praised home Spider-Man trilogy, Watts became a hot name within Marvel, but eventually dropped out due to scheduling conflicts. Well, that stings, because he was pretty good at what he did. So taking Watts' place is veteran TV director Matt Shackman. I know the name. So he directed 43 episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and helmed some of the most impressive action set pieces for the final season of Game of Thrones. Talk about versatility. Okay, so that's where I know the name from, is Game of Thrones, because I've never watched It's Always Sunny. But definitely watched Game of Thrones, and I mean, if he can handle that. Though the last time a Game of Thrones director came into the MCU to direct something, it was Alan Taylor on Thor 2, and that didn't exactly turn out real well. And if you hear people talk about the behind the scenes stuff, it wasn't very good. So who knows if that's necessarily a good thing. Those audiences were treated to a glimpse of the Fantastic Four and Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness with Mr. Fantastic, played by John Krasinski, but that was played more for laughs, which is stupid. But again, if we're gonna get John Krasinski, you get Emily Blunt to play Sue Storm. They're married. They almost undoubtedly can show chemistry on the screen, considering, again, they're married. And then for Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm, that's probably where you need to have two people that have chemistry with each other very well, because they're like best friends, even though they kind of have like I don't want to say a love-hate relationship, but, you know, they pick on each other. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you screw with my bro, I'm going to take you down. So it's kind of like the old Al Bundy thing. We can make fun of our family, just us, but if somebody from the outside makes fun of our family, you're going to pay for it. So yeah, so I'm fine. Really, the only one here that I'm fine with, that I really know anything about, I should say, is Margot Robbie as Sue Storm. I think that's spot on. I have zero issue with that. Like I said, I like Adam Driver. I'm not a fan of him as Reed Richards. I like to see what other choices there are, though I have no doubt he could probably pull it off and convince me otherwise that he was a good pick. I don't know this dude, so I don't have an opinion. I don't really know this guy, other than, again, Hollywood, if you're going to stick to your principles, you need to pick a white Jew to play this role. There's no need to race swap it. But that's what I'm going to say about it. So let me know what you guys think. Who would you pick for the Fantastic Four if you had a choice? Would you stick with John Krasinski and, fantasy pick Emily Blunt as Sue Storm? Who would you pick for the Human Torch and the Thing? And also, hopefully they will go up against Doctor Doom. I'd like to see who they have in the works for that, if he's in fact going to be the first villain that they face. And also, don't give him electrical powers. That was stupid, like they did in the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.